Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're going to build something pretty amazing, a digital content factory for YouTube. We're going to go way beyond the hype and actually assemble a powerful AI-driven system piece by piece. All right, let's really dig into this quote because honestly, this one idea completely flips the script on what YouTube automation is. We're not talking about some magic button for passive income. No way. This is about engineering a system that can pump out high-quality content at a scale that a human team just couldn't dream of. So, today we're rolling up our sleeves and moving from just talking about this stuff to actually building it. And this agenda right here, that's our blueprint. We're going to start with the big ideas and work our way all the way down to the most important part, the human touch. Okay, first things first, we have to clear the air a bit. The whole idea of YouTube automation has gotten a really bad rap. It's been hijacked by all these gurus promising you'll get rich overnight. We need to cut through that noise and separate the fantasy from the very real, very powerful business model that's underneath. And this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the get-rich-quick myth, this dream of low-effort, bot videos that magically make you money while you sleep. And on the other side, you've got the reality. And the reality is a seriously sophisticated operation where AI does the grunt work, which frees you up to be the strategist, the one focused on real growth. All right, and this is absolutely key. Before you even think about touching a single tool, you need a map, a blueprint. You see, a successful automation system isn't about just buying a bunch of fancy software. It's about looking at your own process, your own workflow, and figuring out where the real bottlenecks are. And here they are, right? The three main stages for any video you'll ever make. You've got pre-production, that's all the thinking and planning, then production, the actual making of the thing, and finally post-production, getting it out there. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to look at each of these stages and find every little repetitive task. Those are your golden targets for automation. Okay, now for the fun part. Let's start grabbing the tools and actually building this thing. We're going to assemble our factory's machinery, and we'll start with the most important part, the brains of the whole operation, the AI that's going to handle all our ideas and scripts. So think of these as your pre-production dream team. You'd start with something like vidIQ to figure out, hey, what are people actually looking for? Then you take that juicy data and feed it to an AI like Claude, which can synthesize all that research and spit out a really detailed outline. And finally, you hand that outline over to ChatGPT, which can write the full script, nailing the exact tone and voice you're going for. See how they work together? Next up, our factory needs its visual assembly line. For your thumbnails, a tool like Nano Banana Pro is a game changer. Why? Because of its style anchor feature, which makes sure every single thumbnail has a consistent, on-brand look. Then, for the video itself, you've got amazing options. You could use Google's Veo to turn a simple text prompt into a gorgeous cinematic clip. Or you could go with something like InVideo AI, which can literally take your entire script and edit the whole video for you. And finally, let's bring in the sound department. Look, the days of those clunky, robotic text-to-speech voices are long gone. A tool like 11 Labs can generate a voiceover that has real human emotion. It's kind of crazy. And for music, you don't have to scroll through endless stock libraries anymore. You can use Suno to create a completely original song, lyrics and all, from a prompt. Or, if you need something more epic, Iva specializes in those big cinematic scores. It's like having a composer on call. Okay, so we've got all these amazing individual machines. We have our scripter, our video editor, our voice artist. But right now, they're not talking to each other. We need an operating system. This is the orchestration layer that's going to connect everything so our factory can finally run by itself. And this is where platforms like Zapier, Make, and N8N come in. They are the digital glue, the assembly line that connects everything. The logic is super simple but incredibly powerful. When a trigger happens in one app, it automatically causes an action in another. It's the magic that lets all your different AI tools communicate, and you don't have to write a single line of code. It's amazing. Let me give you a really simple but powerful example of how this works. Imagine you have a Google Sheet where you keep all your video ideas. The trigger is just you adding a new idea to that sheet. That one tiny action can kick off a whole chain reaction. GPT sees the new row and writes the script. Then 11 Labs gets the script and records the voiceover. And boom, the finished files are automatically uploaded to your YouTube channel as unlisted, just waiting for you to give them the final thumbs up. Okay, but hold on. No factory can just run wild without any rules, right? And running an automated system on YouTube is definitely not a free-for-all. You have to play by the platform's rules. And trust me, they have very specific and constantly changing guidelines for AI content. And this number right here is exactly why those rules are so important. Over 1 million channels were using these tools daily back in December 2025. That's a staggering amount of content. So naturally, YouTube is laser focused on preventing what its CEO calls AI slop. You know, that endless stream of low-quality, repetitive junk that offers zero value. Which, of course, brings us to the million-dollar question, the one every creator who's thinking about this wants to know. Can you actually make money doing this? Will YouTube even let you into the partner program if you're using AI? And the answer is yes, but with a huge asterisk. A big one. YouTube's policy is crystal clear. To get monetized, your content has to be transformational. If you just stitch together some stock clips with a generic AI voice, you're going to get rejected for reused content, period. You have to add significant original value. That means your unique commentary, your creative editing, your expert perspective. Basically, the AI does the heavy lifting, but you have to provide the soul. And speaking of rules, YouTube is also big on transparency. They have a really clear disclosure policy. The bottom line is, if you create realistic synthetic content, something that could actually fool someone, like altering footage of a real event or making a person say something they never said, you must label it. Now, you don't have to worry about this if you're just using AI for things like script writing or if the content is obviously fake, like an animation. So, after all of that, after all this incredible technology, these powerful AI tools, these slick automated workflows, what's the single most valuable, most irreplaceable part of our entire content factory? It's you. It has to be you. And don't just take my word for it. Listen to the CEO of YouTube himself. The point is, AI is an unbelievable tool, an amazing instrument, but an instrument still needs a musician. Automation is there to handle the tedious, repetitive work, but a human, you, has to provide the vision, the taste, the strategy, and that all-important final creative approval. This right here is the golden rule. This is the main takeaway. Just because you can automate something doesn't mean you should. You can automate the generation of 10 different scripts, but a human needs to read them and decide which one is actually good. You can automate making 100 video clips, but a human curator needs to pick the best ones. Never, ever automate creative judgment. That's where you, the creator, provide the real essential value. And that leaves us with one last big idea to chew on. In an age where AI can generate infinite content, what does it even mean to be a creator anymore? Well, maybe the job itself is changing. It's evolving from being just a maker of things into something much bigger. You become the director of this whole automated system, the strategist who's always thinking 5 steps ahead, and the curator of quality, making absolutely sure that what your factory puts out is something truly worth watching.